advertisers out
Yeah.
there. So what is your response to that?
Well, we look at it a couple ways. So one is it's complementary to it. So the number one thing we do is we say, look, we're not replacing traditional, we're complementing it. And that's a really big thing, because we're not sitting there going, well, social media, that's it. So stop doing all your print ads, stop doing all that stuff. I literally bought a marketing textbook, because sometimes I feel like we have to go back to our clients and remind them of what you learned when you studied marketing and multiple impressions and all these different ways and all these different touch points and what actually activates somebody. So we sit there saying, here's a more efficient way to reach somebody, here's a different way to reach somebody, here's a way to personalize it, customize it, and really engage with somebody on that one-to-one basis that complements all the big picture advertising you're doing. That's how we look at it. But then when they get into the metrics, they're like, well, how do you measure this? We sit there going, okay, you're trying to measure something that's not a measured media. How do you measure the conversation that we may have right now where I recommend something to you? You don't. But everybody's trying to put sort of these traditional metrics towards what we do. So what we've done is we've actually developed, the list is now at 31 different ways that we can measure what we do, but it's specific to our clients' goals. And we're also part of WOMA, as I'm sure you know the WOMA organization. There's a new one called the SMAC that we're part of as well, which is we're trying to put some standard metrics to the multiple ways that you can measure these campaigns and get some kind of thing, because the reality is people want to know what they're buying. But at the end of the day, we're complementing all the other stuff they're doing. So there's a variety of ways we do it where we actually can convert what we're doing to a media dollar.
So give an example.
Sure. So an example would be, we will do a promotion with a series of blogs. So we'll do that for a big client, like somebody in the gaming industry. And they've got a new title coming out. And we did this recently with GameStop. And they were doing a promotion around Guitar Hero. And part of what they were doing was, they had this great promotion. So if you bought it at GameStop, you had this whole value add. And their promotion was, you could upload a video of yourself playing the game. And the person who got the most votes was actually going to be a character in the next Guitar Hero game. So a pretty awesome prize, pretty cool thing. And they did their traditional advertising, they did all their stuff, and then they brought us in to complement that. So what did we do? We went and found blogs that are relevant, so people in the gaming world, and then there are certain things that are dedicated specifically to Guitar Hero and Rock Band, to that genre of games. But then most importantly, we found influencers. We found key people who are major into that world. So we found one we always use the example of is this guy named Freddie Wong, who is like a YouTube celebrity, has his own channel on YouTube, has more than 10,000 people subscribed to his channel, where they literally just watch him playing Guitar Hero or Rock Band because he's that good. So I always liken that, for me, if that was like somebody playing like Tron or Donkey Kong or Pole Position of the games I loved, I would have watched that to get better. That's essentially what this guy is. He has all these people subscribed. We find him. So number one, you find the guy. Number two, you communicate with him and say, here's the promotion, you may want to be a part of it. This guy bought in big time. He's one of many examples where he then made his own video, went out to his audience, went out to his users and said, I have to win this. I want to be a character in the next Guitar Hero. You've got to help me. You always watch my videos. This is what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. Well, someone like that messages, he's a trusted source, he messages 10,000 people. And what happened was, the week that he was up for it, he won. He won dramatically in the week that he was up. So he drove a whole bunch of usage, he drove the right people, but everything I just described can't be bought. You're not going to go to YouTube and say, I want to buy an ad right on this guy and it's going to be just this, and even if you did, people would ignore that because that's not the way to engage that audience. So what we did is that worked. We could show very many metrics. We knew how much traffic came from his users. We knew how much he pushed it out and what that meant. Then we started looking at how many votes came from other people like that, other influencers, or where the traffic came from the social media space. So we could look at a whole bunch of different things as far as the metrics of what was driving traffic to that promotion. And then beyond that, we could look at that and go, all right, well, we didn't buy that advertising, but if you could, what would an ad like that be worth? Because what is somebody paying to be on YouTube? How much traffic did that get? At this point, that video, just the video of him talking about the contest, has had 55,000 plus views. So just him talking about it has been seen. So how do you put a value to that? And we literally put some metrics to that and put dollar figures next to it saying, you can't buy this, but if you could, this is what it's worth and here's why.